We'll start off with side by side, so let's hear you sing. You ready? Raise the roof. It won't take much doing. The guttering's on the inside. Now, wait a minute. This sounds like an asthma clinic. Try it again. You haven't paid. Go on. That's it. Oh, come on, come on.
Les Dawson, the comedian whose wrinkled grimace and deadpan delivery could bring an entire nation to tears of laughter. His most cherished subjects were domestic warfare and the tyranny of the mother-in-law, all delivered with an air of profound defeat.
Please forgive me if I appeared down in the mouth this evening, but I've just had some bad news. Tomorrow it's the mother-in-law's funeral, and she's cancelled it.
For Les Dawson, entertainment was about elevating the ordinary to the absurd, proving that beneath the dark, dreary exterior of British life lay a boundless capacity for laughter.
In the formative years of the Palladium, certain comedians would walk on the stage wearing a false red nose and blowing raspberry at the audience in a feeble effort to glean a titter. They would, of course, on reflection, third-rate inferior performers, ultimately destined for theatrical obscurity. In answer to hence my claim as an intellectual performer, I should like to play not one, but two pieces upon the pianoforte. Control your emotions, please. The first piece is an adaptation from Mozart entitled An 18th Century Drawing Room, which will be swiftly followed by the theme from that much publicised movie of yesteryear, Love Story. Thank you for your indulgence.
This is the story of the man who found the sublime in the mundane and created a comedic legacy that is still revered today. Les Dawson was born in Manchester in 1931, though he grew up primarily in Lytham St Anne's. His early life was far from glamorous. He cycled through a staggering variety of jobs, each informing the cynical worldview that would become his comedy gold. He worked in a textile mill, tried his hand as a vacuum cleaner salesman, was briefly a boxer, and even spent time as an insurance agent and a security guard. He later recalled these years with dark humour, referring to himself as the lowest form of life known to man. During this period, his main source of comfort and ambition was performance. He took up the piano, and though he was genuinely gifted, he struggled to make a living on the variety circuit. He spent years in the grind, moving from smoky working men's clubs in the north of England to playing piano in strip clubs in Paris. This long, punishing apprenticeship provided him with two things: material drawn from real-life hardship and the absolute control he needed over his deadpan persona. He knew the cost of failure, and that knowledge made his eventual success all the more potent.
A lot of people think when I play the piano there's a strong resemblance to Richard Clayderman. Now, I've nothing against the lad, but he is French. And I don't trust any nation that makes a fetish of eating frogs' legs. Because as a well-known conservationist, what horrifies me is, when you order frog's legs, what happens to the rest of the frog? Is it doomed to spend the rest of its life going around the kitchen on casters?
By the mid-1960s, Dawson was ready to give up. He was a married man with a young family, and the constant struggle was taking its toll. In a last-ditch effort, he decided to audition for the TV talent show Opportunity Knocks, hosted by Huey Green. The year was 1967. When Dawson walked onto the set, he presented an unusual figure, a large, serious-looking man with a face etched with world-weary sadness. His act was completely original. It wasn't just jokes, it was a persona. He famously began by performing his legendary bad piano playing, which involved deliberately mangling the instrument while his face remained stubbornly serious.
That's it. Try to keep together.
The performance won over the notoriously harsh studio audience and the viewers at home. He didn't just win that night. His career exploded instantly. The contrast between his outwardly miserable persona and the brilliant, intricate comedy he delivered was electric. Les Dawson had finally found the national platform where his unique architecture of chaos could flourish. The core of Dawson's comedic genius was his dedication to character work, particularly his sketches featuring northern working-class women, most famously Ada and Cissie, often performed in drag, sitting on a park bench.
Well, Cissie! How's it seen you at the doctor's?
Well, yes.
Is it the old trouble?
What trouble?
Woman's trouble. Last year when you said you might have to have an hysterical rectomy.
These were not simply crude jokes. These sketches were richly textured, observational pieces about the everyday tragedy and gossip of northern life. The jokes, usually about his terrifying mother-in-law, were delivered with a dramatic flourish, full of eloquent despair. Following his breakthrough, Les Dawson became a fixture on British television. From 1971 to 1976, he starred in his own highly successful sketch show, C'est Les, which showcased his full repertoire of characters and stand-up. His ability to anchor a primetime variety show solidified his status as a mainstream entertainer. Later in his career, he found a new generation of fans by hosting the chaotic quiz show Blankety Blank, where his deadpan delivery acted as the perfect foil for the celebrity panel's antics. What many fans didn't realize was the profound intellect beneath the jokes. Dawson was a formidable and serious writer. He authored numerous novels and memoirs, celebrated for their lyrical prose and detailed historical settings. He also composed poetry and even a dark autobiography that detailed his early struggles. This duality, the comic master of the double entendre on screen and the serious man of letters off screen, underscored the depth of his talent, proving that his humor was always rooted in keen observation and intelligence. Les Dawson passed away suddenly in 1993, leaving a chasm in British comedy. However, his influence lives on. He is celebrated as one of the great figures of post-war British entertainment. He proved that high energy was not necessary for high comedy, relying instead on timing, nuance, and the sheer power of character. His legacy is rooted in his connection to the common man and woman. He gave a voice to the perpetually put upon, finding comedy in cramped housing, bad weather, and impossible family members. His jokes about his wife's mother, while politically incorrect by modern standards, were delivered with a gentle shared understanding of domestic friction, never with true malice. Les Dawson used his life of hardship to craft a meticulous, unforgettable, and deeply loved style of entertainment, confirming that sometimes the biggest laughs come from the most miserable face.